Hello, my name is Cypress Forest Wolf, and today I will be reading for you a traditional fairy tale translated by Zoe Zodler. The name of this one is Crookshanks, and it's about a wishful wolf. I hope you do enjoy. Please take some time to settle into your body, settle into your surroundings. Close your eyes or keep them open and enjoy Crookshanks. The wolf, as is well known, is the most credulous of all the animals. One day, the wolf and the fox met in the forest. The wolf was limping, his pelt was in poor condition, and altogether he looked very downcast. The fox asked why he was going about in so sorry of a plight. "My faith," said the wolf, "reason enough. I am fallen neighbor on bad days. When you saw me last, I was so fleet of foot and so sound of wind and limb that I could carry off a pair of horses with no trouble. Now, the most broken-winded nag is almost too swift for me to overtake." "And how has that come about?" asked the fox. "For, in my troth, you are not yet old." "Alas, by the will of Saint Nicholas, patron of us wolves," replied the other. "One day he sent for me. 'Wolf,' he said, 'too much passes under your tooth. There is no greater marauder in all the forest. The time has come to a halt. The forest was created for all the creatures and not for one in particular. For your greed you must choose one of 3 forfeits. You may have a tail half a mile in length, or wear a bell around your neck, which will be heard half a mile off, or you shall go Crookshanks, as you please.' What was I to do? Which to choose? I chose the last, for at least from time to time I still have something to eat, and for what it is worth, it is always better than to have a tail half a mile long or a bell about my neck which may be heard half a mile off." The fox considered the matter and said slyly, "After all, it is not so very bad. As things are, you still have the means of keeping yourself in a dinner. The worst feature of this case is that you go barefoot. One might take you for a beggar, and you shouldn't forget either that you are now Crookshanks." "It is very true," said the wolf dolefully. "But who is there who might make me a pair of boots?" "Why, I myself," replied the fox. "I can and I will make you the most charming pair of boots in the world. After all, as every animal knows, I served my apprenticeship, and with great profit to the profession as a bootmaker." The wolf, who did not know anything of the kind, was too simple to say so. "Since you are so obliging," returned he gratefully, "I ask nothing better. But you make me them at once, for I do now indeed perceive that boots are the very thing I need." "Yet not so fast," said the fox. "Boots are not made from the sand on the riverbed, nor from the leaves of the forest, least of all such delightful boots as it shall be my pleasure to supply you with. Do you, wolf, for your part, bring me here what I need for the work. Once that is done, your boots will be ready and on your feet before you can so much as say presto." The wolf agreed at once to the terms and asked to be told what the fox desired. In the first place, a fat sheep to furnish the thread. The wolf went at night to the village, broke in where he had observed the foal to be weakest and the watch to be least careful, seized a fat ewe, and carried the carcass in triumph to the fox. Fox now had his larder stocked with meat, fresh meat, and much to his liking. For several days he feasted and feasted again until there was nothing left. Along came the wolf and asked, "Neighbor, are my boots ready?" "Ho, ho," said the fox. "Not so fast, Sir Wolf. Well enough for the thread, but what shall we do for the leather?" You must bring me here a horse, that I may have his hide." "A little patience," replied the foolish wolf, "and I shall bring you the horse too. When they are driven to water, I shall choose among the best of them, and bring him here to you. For your part, do you flay him as quickly as possible, and tan the leather, for I find myself consumed with longing to be possessed of my charming boots." A few days later, the wolf brought a young horse, and again the fox gorged on the carcass until all was eaten, and his own coat shone like silk for so much good living. The wolf came by again, limping as before, and asked the news of his boots. And again the fox replied, "All in good time, but first you must bring me a hog, for unless there be bristles, what shall I use for the needles?" The wolf went again to the village, attacked a hog, and brought the carcass to the fox. The fox once more feasted until all was gone. This time, when the wolf returned, he was less easily put off, and called out angrily, "Fox! Make an end! Give me my boots, otherwise I shall gobble you up!" "Your boots," replied the fox, pretending to be amazed at this language, "are ready and waiting for you to put on. Do but walk this way. Pass through this shallow pit where I have placed them for greater safety. Your boots will glide onto your feet of their own accord." The wolf did as he said, and bid, and came out on the further side with 4 white boots, at which he kept glancing down with the greatest pride and pleasure. "See how well they fit you," cried the fox. "I wager you cannot feel them on your feet. They are so light, no other bootmaker in the forest could have fitted you half so well." The wolf was highly delighted, particularly at the boots being such a good fit, and so light that he could not feel them on his feet. He thanked the fox very heartily and continued on his way, glancing down all the time at his 4 white boots, and greatly pleased that Crookshank though he may be, at least he no longer go barefoot. From this contemplation, the shouts of some ploughmen awoke him. As he was crossing open ground, they saw him and began to shout angrily after him, and pelt him with sticks and stones. So near did they draw to him that he was obliged to plunge into a lake in order to save his life. As he came out again on the further side, he perceived to his great dismay that the current had carried off his new boots. At this, he sat down on his haunches and began to lament and shed bitter tears. "Alas!" cried he, "my beautiful boots are at the bottom of the lake. All my pains are lost, and beside this, my kind neighbor Fox had his labor for nothing." For what he did not know was that the crafty fox had done no more than profit from his credulity, and at the last ruse had bidden him walk through a pit of lime wash, from which he had his beautiful white boots. Thank you for listening to Crookshanks, a traditional Polish fairy tale translated by Zoe Zodler. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you find a little lesson in our wonderful wolf's mind. I look forward to hearing from you next time, and I wish you the best. Be well.